Hey y'all, this is Brett, and I'm using this angle because I don't want to set up lights, and to make good videos you have to have good lighting. So, anyways, tonight I'm going to show you a recipe that I just made up because I just found those lemon cucumbers in the garden. They're volunteers. I didn't plant them. They just came up from seeds that were from past years. And they grew in the garden, and I was like, oh, lemon cucumbers. Let's see if we can do something with those. So I'm going to mix them all together and chop them up and make some really great stuff. So we're going to chop the cucumbers up initially with a knife, and then we're going to chop them with the food processor. And then we're going to chop them up even more. We're going to mash them with the wet grinder. And then we're going to put some spices in there. Some really good spices. And I'm going to add this green onion and a couple of raw olives from Natural Zing. If you've never tasted raw olives, oh my lord, you've got to have some, because this is a totally different experience than a regular olive. Natural Zing. And get the Peruvian pitted ones. They're better. So, now come on over here with me. I'm going to set you right here. We're going to take all of these cucumbers, olives, and onion and put it right in there, like that. And I'm going to take this Cuisinart with me on my trip, believe it or not. And I'll be using it in the weeds because I just got a Honda generator. Okay, so I got that going pretty good. And now I'm going to add some garlic. That's definitely enough garlic. Hope I didn't overdo it there. I'm going to add some dill. And this isn't a recipe really. I just kind of know what'll probably taste good. And then I'm going to add some curry. And speaking of curry, if you haven't seen Megan Curry do yoga on YouTube, you must. Look up Megan Curry, and you guys will drool, and you girls will go like, how could she do that? Okay, so a little curry. She's like a Gumby. You older people, do you remember Gumby? Oh, and there's one other thing. I want to add some dulse to this, okay? So, I've got a little dulse, and I'm probably going to have to leave. See, it's dry, and it's probably going to freak out. It's going to freak out when I hit it. When I hit the power, it's going to trip out because it's dry. But this cucumber will get it wet fairly quickly. Okay. Never tap things on the plastic or it will crack and break. Alright, that's alright. Okay. Okay, so now I am going to wet grind the whole thing. And the reason for using the wet grinder is because the wet grinder mashes the food down even more. This is like pre-digesting when you chop stuff up. But if you want to take that an extra step and get even more nutrients out of the food, oh my Lord, the wet grinders are so incredible. So, I'm going to take all of this mixture of stuff and dump it in there. And then I'm going to fire up the wet grinder. Now, what's the difference between a wet grinder and like a blender? Well, you don't have to add any liquid. Now, in this case, I probably wouldn't have to add any liquid to a blender because cucumbers have a lot of water in them. And right now, July, is the time for cucumbers. Cucumbers will hydrate you. But even if this were a drier mixture, I wouldn't have to add water like I do in a blender. And we're mashing the food not by high RPMs like a blender does, but we're mashing the food with these stones. That's a granite stone, and the base of this thing is stone. So it's kind of just like the Indians mashing food with a stone. This is a modern version of that. So now, if I don't want the little things, it's flipping a little bit. See how it's flipping the stuff up? There, now nothing will get out of there. It's not as fun, but... So now, there's one more thing. I need to add a little bit of omega-3 from flax seeds. These are flax crackers that I made, and these have a lot of spices in them too. So we're going to let that go for about a minute or two here. I usually will let it go for probably 5 minutes. And then it'll be totally smashed by those stones. But, so things are going really well here. I've got 8 days left in this house. I've got 8 days left in the house, and I still have a lot of work to do, but I've got a lot done. And I've figured out a lot of things in regards to preparing the car. And pretty soon I'm going to do the video, turn your car into a camper. And I got the Honda generator. I've got the inverter on the way. And so I've got the electricity covered. I think that I also need a water pump. So I'm going to go to Lowe's and buy a water pump so that I can pump water from a river directly through the water pump. And then I'll hit it with ultraviolet light and it'll be pure and clean. Now, in September, I'm going to an eco-builders to learn how to build straw bale houses and solar passive things. And, I finished my solar cooker, so I'm psyched about that. And I might like to go to the beach and make some videos. Do you think it would be cool to take my big old screen tent and my massage table to a beach where there were some rather attractive females and do some massage? That might be cool. But in any case, I'm also wanting to do a bunch of videos on like ailments, okay? And I know a lot of you have ailments, and I've experienced a lot of those ailments, and or I know how to relieve them. So, email me, brett@vitalitymassage.net, if you would like me to possibly, and I can't guarantee anything, but if you would like me to come to your house and work on you for free, because you know I don't have massage licenses in any state now, I'm just like, I'm a rogue massage therapist. I'm the rebel massage therapist traveling about and doing healing work for free. Okay, so there it is. Now all I need is a spoon and a mouth, and by God, we'll see if it's any good. Oh, wait. That is really good, really good. Right out of the garden, like 15 minutes ago, maybe 20 minutes ago. So, anyway, so on my website, there's one thing still available for people to purchase, and that is the wet grinder. And that's because I basically put all of my products on sold out because I just can't do them now because I'm moving and I'm going on this little trip thing. And yeah, if you want one of those, the link on my website is connected directly to Amazon, and then if you buy it through me to Amazon, then I'll get 4% of the profits, like $8 or something. But it's a wet grinder, and it's awesome, and I think that it's the next... I'm not taking the blender on the trip. No. But I'm taking this big moose because I'm so addicted to it. And you will see, I mean, if I really... Oh, actually I have a little blender. I have a little one, and I don't use it I won't use it that often. There's my other one that I use sometimes. I'm not saying that blenders are obsolete. I'm just saying that I would rather use my wet grinder now because it's quiet and it mashes the food with low RPMs, and it does a better job, especially with seeds, because it's mashing the food. It's not trying to cut things. And anyways, it's mellow and I like it. So I am excited. I am really excited, and despite all of the crazy changes that are going on, I need this, and I knew I needed it. But I was gearing up for it. I've probably been gearing up for this excursion, this safari. I've been gearing up for this safari for, I don't know, who knows? I probably started thinking about stuff like this years and years and years ago. And so we're just going to do it, and you are invited to come along with me. You might even be invited to receive some of this magic. So yeah, you can email me once again, brett@vitalitymassage.net. Thanks for joining me.